Today, I want to talk to you about what I call the price wall. What exactly is this price wall that I speak of? To me, a price wall on Amazon is where there is one seller or multiple sellers with lots of inventory, and they have driven down the price to a point where there is now a wall between what you can sell the item profitably at and what those sellers are currently selling at. Now you're wondering, do I sell my product at a loss? Do I take a lower margin than I normally do? I'm here today to help you make a better decision on what you should do with those products that are just behind that price wall. Now I want to start off by saying the best way to avoid these situations is to look at the Keepa graph before you even buy the product and send it into FBA. There is an enormous amount of data to look at in Keepa to make sure that you're making the best buying decisions possible. One of the things that you need to really look at is who's owned the buy box. What's their average price? How long have they owned the buy box for? What percent of the time do they own the buy box for? Now you need to check their inventory and see, have they been replenishing their inventory? Have they been selling it at this low price forever? Those are the things that you need to be aware of before you even send that product in. So now say you did your due diligence and you send your product into FBA. It looks like a slam dunk. Next thing you know, there's a seller showing up with 200 units. I personally have only been doing this for 6 or 7 months, and I can tell you that this situation has already happened to me multiple times. The first thing you want to do is not start panic selling. There's a few things we need to take into consideration before we actually decide whether or not we're gonna sell this product at a loss. It's not fun when you and your competitors, repricers, start chasing each other to the bottom and nobody makes any money. For that reason, I also recommend that you don't use a repricer setting that's just gonna always undercut your competition by 1 penny, because they're probably gonna be using the same repricer and they're just gonna keep undercutting as well. If they're willing to go as low as they're going, then they're willing to go lower. That's how I look at it. Some people just like looking at sales on their app. Whoa, dude, look how many sales I got today. So outside of the repricer, what are some things that you now need to look at to make yourself feel better about the situation? So the more inventory somebody has and the higher the sales rank, the longer it's gonna take for you to get through that price wall. So if the item sells 500 times a month and someone's got 500 units and they're willing to price it way below everybody else, they're probably gonna sell out relatively fast, meaning like a month and a half, and hopefully those people don't replenish their inventory because they just weren't happy with the margin they got, or maybe that was a one-time deal that they were able to get all this inventory for so cheap, so they were able to go very low on their price compared to everybody else's. Or they could just have a way better deal, they replenish their inventory, and now maybe it's time to take that loss. Don't get married to your products. FBA is a game of finding winners and getting rid of your losers, especially wholesale the way I do it. The entire profitability of my business relies on how well I replenish my winning SKUs and how quickly I cut off my losers. If someone comes in and puts up a price wall, I'm likely not gonna reorder that inventory until I figure out whether or not that person is gonna replenish theirs or not. Even if it takes a couple months for your product to actually sell once you send it in, as long as you're getting a decent margin, the storage fees are gonna be so insignificant that you should just allow that product to sit there. It's not in your house, it's not in your warehouse, it's in Amazon's warehouse. You don't have to do any extra work on it, so quit stressing. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where you need money and all of your money is in inventory, that could be different, and you may need to just lower your price and turn that inventory and take that cash out of Amazon. I highly recommend though that you don't overextend yourself into inventory and put yourself in a situation where you need money, because that's just gonna affect your profitability in the long run. And the same thing honestly goes if you're putting inventory on a high interest credit card. You're gonna feel way more pressure to cave and sell that item at a low price, and sadly, lose money. Again, the best way to avoid these situations is to just do the product research ahead of time. See who's owned the buy box in the past, what price they've owned it at, how much all of the sellers have in stock that are currently on the list, and then make a good decision on how many units you should buy for that product. I hope this video helps you out. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I will be more than happy to answer those. Also, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or any other platform you find me on. Before you go, please go ahead and like this video. It helps me out a lot.